And in a big turn of events, sources tell KARE 11 the search warrant that ended with Minneapolis police shooting Locke actually was not originally a no-knock warrant. AJ Legault explains.
Initially, St. Paul police did not request a no-knock warrant from a judge as they looked to gather evidence in a murder case. But sources tell me Minneapolis police would not serve the warrant unless it was a no-knock. Tonight, growing calls to further restrict them across the state.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant!
9 seconds. That's how much time Amir Locke had between police entering the apartment without knocking and him being shot dead. The echoes of those shots already reverberating at the state capitol.
This current case in Minneapolis is proof of the fact that we need to do more.
State Representative Athena Hollins has been a vocal critic of no-knock warrants, saying they create too much risk for both law enforcement and citizens to make a split-second deadly decision.
If we can use a tool other than no-knock warrants, we absolutely should. It should be a tool of last resort.
Last year, the legislature took some steps to regulate when no-knocks are used and now requires their use to be tracked.
Does that go far enough?
No. I would argue that it absolutely doesn't go far enough.
Hollins says she's already working on a bill to further restrict the use of no-knocks statewide, except in the most extreme high-risk cases.
This was a murder case. That would seem to be a high-risk situation.
It would, except that as far as we know, and we know we're still waiting for more information to come out, we know that this was an evidence-gathering warrant and not necessarily an apprehension, right?
We're learning a lot more today about the no-knock warrant that was used in the raid that led to Minneapolis police shooting and killing Amir Locke. Investigative reporter AJ Legault joins us now to break down the new information. AJ?
Julie, today the search warrants and the law enforcement applications for those warrants were unsealed. It gives us our first real look into the decision-making to conduct the pre-dawn no-knock raid that led to a, by all accounts, innocent man's death.
Police search warrant!
By now, you've likely seen the body cam video of the no-knock raid. The 9 seconds between police entering a downtown Minneapolis apartment and shooting dead Amir Locke, who was sleeping on a couch and came up holding a handgun. The unsealed search warrants for that raid confirmed St. Paul police investigating a January murder on North Pryor Ave originally requested normal search warrants for 3 Bolero Flats apartments in Minneapolis to be executed between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. A prior KARE 11 report revealed MPD wouldn't help execute the warrant unless it was changed to a no-knock. So, records show the next day, February 1st, the St. Paul detective amended the warrant application, adding a lot of additional details about how the murder suspect shot the victim with a .223 caliber firearm. How the suspects have been posting videos and photos to Instagram holding several different firearms to include a rifle, possibly the murder weapon, and that .223 caliber rifle rounds can penetrate police body armor. Now asking for the nighttime no-knock warrant, the detective wrote, "This will not only increase officer safety, but will also decrease the risk for injuries to the suspects and other residents nearby." Hennepin County Judge Peter Cahill signed off on the no-knock warrant, and early the next morning, MPD SWAT raided.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant! Police search warrant!
It's important to point out there's nothing in any of the court records that indicate Amir Locke, who was killed in the SWAT raid, was in any way tied to the murder his younger cousin, teenager Makai Speed, is now charged with. Back to you.
A no-knock warrant, a SWAT team raid, and serious questions about how and when MPD has been utilizing a technique that experts say should be a last resort. Here's KARE 11 investigative reporter AJ Legault.
It's 5:54 a.m., March 17th, 2021. 4 months after Mayor Fry announced a ban on most no-knock warrants, Minneapolis SWAT sneaks across snowy yards to raid this home.
Police search warrant! Police search
Armed with a no-knock warrant. Unable to immediately ram their way inside, they use a breaching shotgun.
Police search warrant! Police search warrant!
Another officer runs around, smashing windows as officers blast their way inside.
Hands on the ground! On the ground!
They quickly zip tie a naked man
This is crazy.
and a barely dressed woman who begs officers to stop destroying her home.
Please don't break nothing else.
We won't. Stand up.
The restrained couple keep asking, what is going on?
I would have to say that we've been very cordial. There's a search warrant going on. Okay. To get us here, something big's going on. So just
Something big is going on. So what is the SWAT team looking for?
Where's the baby then?
Listen again to make sure you catch the big thing officers are looking for.
Where's the baby then?
That's right. MPD SWAT used a no-knock warrant
Dog in the basement.
to look for a puppy.
2 dogs in the basement.
2 puppies.
Yep, just 2 dogs.
They kenneled up.
One is the little puppy's not, but it's fine.
Let's back up. The no-knock raid to find a puppy was set in motion nearly a month earlier. At the 2nd Precinct, a family that breeds dogs reported they were robbed after meeting a potential buyer. When they let him hold the puppy, he ran off, fell down here on the sidewalk, and a handgun dropped out of his pocket. He grabbed it, pointed it at them, and took off running. That puppy napping led to this no-knock raid. A MPD detective claimed using Facebook and phone records he determined where the suspect lived. In the search warrant application, he wrote because of the use of a handgun, the suspect's conviction in 2008 for assault and 2014 for possession of a weapon, an unannounced entry is necessary to prevent the loss of evidence or protect the safety of the searchers or the public. Judge Luis Bartolome signed off on the no-knock warrant.
It's just absolutely tactically unsound, and quite honestly, it's unnecessary in most cases.
Thor Eels is executive director of the National Tactical Officers Association. They train SWAT officers and discourage using no-knock warrants to gather evidence in criminal cases, instead advocating other options, some as simple as surrounding a location and calling for those inside to come out. No-knocks, he says, in fact, increase safety risks because they decrease time and space for officers, suspects, and even innocent parties to react.
Unfortunately, when they go bad, they go really bad.
Exhibit A,
Police search warrant!
the recent no-knock where MPD shot and killed Amir Locke, who was sleeping on a family member's couch and sat up with a gun when officers rushed in.
Unnecessarily endangering the lives of officers and suspects, and then even unwitting citizens who may be in close proximity, just isn't worth it.
No one was hurt in the puppy raid, and MPD seemed impressed by their own tactics.
Avon went right through there, good.
A dog and handgun were seized. Marvin Johnson is charged with aggravated robbery and possession of a firearm. He's pled not guilty. Princess Fort has no criminal record. She says she'd been given the puppy as a gift by her now ex-boyfriend and still wants to know what she wanted to know that morning. Was all this necessary?
Y'all could have knocked or did something a little different.
This no-knock raid over a puppy happened months after Mayor Fry announced no-knocks had been banned in Minneapolis in all but the most exigent circumstances. But as we're continuing to learn, MPD kept using them almost routinely right up until this month when Amir Locke was killed. For Carol Levin Investigates, I'm AJ Legault.
Thank you, AJ. This evening, Mayor Fry's office responded to AJ with a statement saying, quote, even if the officers announced their presence prior to entry in accordance with the November 2020 policy, this kind of conduct underscores why we are revising the no-knock warrant policy with a full moratorium in place in the meantime, end quote.
Thanks for joining us. More troubling revelations tonight about how Minneapolis police have policed the city's citizens of color.
Investigative reporter AJ Legault joins us now with the findings of a deep dive into how no-knock warrants have been used. AJ?
Every single no-knock warrant served by the Minneapolis police in the 5-month period leading up to Amir Locke's death targeted minorities. That's the city's own finding. It took a no-knock warrant raid that resulted in MPD shooting and killing an innocent man for Minneapolis to get serious about reforming how and when its officers bust into a home. We're now learning more, not just about the how and when, but the who MPD targeted with no-knocks. This Office of Police Conduct Review preliminary report into high-risk warrants found from September of last year through the end of January, MPD served 29 no-knock warrants, and not a single target of those raids was white.
Police search warrant! Police!
Prior CARE 11 investigations have shown how MPD used a no-knock to blast their way into a black resident's home with a breaching shotgun to investigate a puppy napping. The rounds, fired through the doorframe, put holes in a couch where children regularly sleep.
There's a bullet hole right in this couch.
That would be from the Avon round, it's called.
In another case, without doing basic due diligence, an MPD no-knock warrant looking for a young black man was served on the wrong address.
2 of them had their guns up,
Terrifying the innocent family inside.
and I actually asked them, I'm like, what would it have taken for you guys to, like, shoot us, honestly?
The city's findings about how no-knocks have been used seem to troublingly mirror the state's announcement yesterday that MPD has engaged in a pattern of race-based policing.
Y'all could have knocked or did something a little different.
Well, this month, Mayor Fry announced a new policy officially prohibiting MPD from executing no-knock search warrants. The legislature is still debating a statewide ban. Randy?